He did it again. The world watched as a major party candidate for the President of the United States put on a painful display of incoherent babble, proving once again that he knows absolutely nothing about the world or the people that live in it. A Muslim woman named Gorba Hamid asked both candidates how they deal with rising anti-Muslim sentiment.
With Islamophobia on the rise, how will you help people like me deal with the consequences of being labeled as a threat to the country after the election is over?
Trump answered by first showing that he understood the problem, and he offered some solutions on how to solve it. Just kidding, he did this.
We have to be sure that Muslims come in and report when they see something going on.
Before we go any further, let's actually unpack what he's saying here. He's suggesting that American Muslims are aware of terrorist activity and are complicit in their silence.
We have to be sure that Muslims come in and report when they see something going on.
He's adopted the ISIS narrative that Islam is against America and that American Muslims are double agents that are secretly trying to help the terrorists win. Trump's answer to a question about how to handle hatred and violence that's being directed to over 3 million Americans was to stoke the fires of hatred and xenophobia. But when Trump continued his answer, he resurfaced an entirely false claim that the San Bernardino massacre could have been prevented if not for political correctness.
Many people saw the bombs all over the apartment of the two people that killed 14 and wounded many, many people.
He's referencing this interview.
They had, I guess, receiving packages, quite a few packages within a short amount of time.
A lot of packages. Packages.
The bombs all over the apartment.
I'm a photographer. I get packages every day that have the words fragile printed on them. My sister gets all of her shopping done online. My roommate gets toilet paper delivered to our house in these giant boxes. Amazon is working on this project to make it rain packages from the sky. And in Donald Trump world, this is probable cause. And you should be reporting me and my family because we have an Amazon Prime account. Trump goes on to bring up Orlando and Paris.
You look at Orlando, and you look at San Bernardino, and you look at the World Trade Center. Go outside, you look at Paris.
But completely forgot to mention the Orlando shooter was already on an FBI terror watch list and gave no mention to the hero French policeman, a Muslim person named Ahmed Mourbet, who gave his life trying to protect Paris. Or in the latest attack in New York, the attacker's own father reported him. But what Trump did do is tell us that there is a problem, which would have been a fine answer if the question was, does terrorism exist?
These are radical Islamic terrorists, and she won't even mention the word.
And this is the moment that gets me. Gorba Hamid made that face that all American Muslims make when someone whose only exposure to Islam is on the TV and they try to explain to you how your religion is worshipped. Gorba, you are my hero. Thank you for your patience. But you know, there is a reason why Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton do not use the words radical Islamic terrorism.
When you start calling these organizations Islamic terrorists, the way it's heard, the way it's received by our friends and allies around the world is that somehow Islam is terroristic. Call these folks what they are, which is killers and terrorists.
Using the words Islamic to describe a barbaric atrocity is exactly what Hamid asked you to address. And instead of offering a solution, you made it worse. It gives power to terrorists who are seeking validation for their monstrous war against humanity. And it empowers people, sometimes violent people, who have bias against Muslims to act on them. Muslims in every corner of America and in Europe have all had violence brought into their lives or into the lives of a loved one because people like Trump believe Islam is the defining factor of what makes a terrorist. Every Muslim I've ever met has a story, sometimes several, of times they were worried their lives were in the hands of someone who heard Islam is at war with America.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us.
That's what Islamophobia is. It's to kill a few of us, to let the rest of us know that we aren't welcome. And that's terrorism by definition. But since we are lowering the bar this year, I gotta give you credit, Trump. This is the first time you've ever actually admitted that Islamophobia is real.
Well, you're right about Islamophobia, and that's a shame.
Great job, Trump. You were doing so well. Maybe at one point we all thought this was funny. But the reality is, Election Day is less than a month away. And he's not running for president of Trumpland. He is running for president for all Americans, including the 3 million Muslim Americans who are happy to call this land their home. But he didn't make it this far on his own. He made it this far because enough people saw and heard what he said, and they just don't know any better. Maybe they haven't met a Muslim in their lives before. They see death on their TV screens and hear someone telling them that if they don't act now, they could be next. That if only their Muslim neighbor could tell them who the bad ones are, we can just put an end to terrorism once and for all. But the great thing about this country is that we're all in this together. Anyone can be an American, and an American can be anything. We enjoy freedoms that are rarely enjoyed in places where a political rival could be jailed.
Because you'd be in jail.
Where we respect each other and each other's space.
You're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the
And if Trump's big plan on how to fight terrorism is to make Muslims feel like they're part of the problem, then this problem isn't going anywhere. And it's very possible that this could get worse.